Show you, just because the new set permits certain things to be happening doesn't mean they're necessarily the best things to be doing.
Yeah.
These decks are both ports of standard decks from last season. Mana base is cleaned up, there's some new cards. But these players did not go all out trying to cram in every single powerful card and all the cool new lands. And now they meet in the finals.
Warden of the First Tree for Majors. Zergo Bell Striker there for DeMars. Michael gonna come in here, daring Zergo to block. He'll level up the Warden of the First Tree and pass the turn back over to DeMars.
And already Major's showing a good understanding of what's going on here. I think a lot of people in this matchup would have the instinct of saying, all right, I'll make a 3-3 and say go, get ready to block. DeMars has shown the ability to kill from some pretty crazy life totals and board states. You need to race a little bit against this deck. Now, it's easy to go overboard with that, and there's going to be spots where Majors pumps the brakes and at least leaves some stuff back, but you don't want to be playing all day against this deck.
Swift Spear is here. Here come the beatdowns. 17 all as we head to Major's third turn. Wingmate rock the draw. Here comes the Warden again. The follow for Majors, he'll go down to 16. He'll play Deathmiss Raptor face up. We're in a format without Lightning Strike.
And this threat's very good against a Tarka Red, especially DeMars' build. I think his plan for blockers in large part are those pump spells. Not effective against Deathmiss Raptor.
Mars will sacrifice that Wooded Foothills. Go get himself a copy of Cinderglade. Both players with some battle lands on the battlefield. And we'll head back Brian's way. There's Wooded Foothills. Brian will fall down to 12, I believe. Basic Mountain.
I see at least one Atarka's Command in this deck, so, or hand rather. So he's got a haste threat. He might try to rip off some damage in this spot.
He's got Lightning Berserker. That kind of qualifies, but he's going to come in this way. Deathmiss Raptor going to get in front of Swift Spear. Titan Strength this way. Yeah, we're going to see Teamer Battle Rage in a second, too. Lightning Strike on top of the deck.
And he's got Target's Command as the leftovers, plus a haste creature.
Teamer Battle Rage is going to go there, I think.
So this is 6, 12, minus 3, 9, 11?
Depends on what he targeted. So that was weird. Because
yeah, this is really important.
Yeah, this is really important because he kind of, yeah, like I think he know what he meant to do, but I think he kind of just played the Teamer Battle Rage like he put the card on Zergo.
Right.
I think Michael understands what's going on now at this point. It was definitely a little strange, and we don't have the communication as far as verbally is concerned, but there we are.
So my count is 11 damage came through.
Your count is right.
Okay.
Maybe time for Michael Majors to maybe pump the brakes a little bit.
Well, if he can hold back for one turn, then he can get to Wingmate Rock.
Yeah, I understand what you were saying as far as, wanting to attack and all that stuff. Maybe I would just want to play too defensive an approach in this matchup. Because now he's got to just hold steady with Warden. And I kind of would have just wanted to trade off a bunch. Maybe that's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just saying that I've watched enough people play against DeMars so far in this tournament who have taken an extremely passive approach to the game, who have gotten rolled by some mixture of Teamer Battle Rage and become immense.
There's Lightning Berserker. Here come the beatdowns.
Modern players, that is time around. Once again, Modern, that is time around.
The Majors does have Dramoka's Command at the ready. Pretty important for him to have that.
Also needs to keep himself above 1 here because he needs to get to Wingmate Rock, and that involves sacrificing a Flooded Strand.
Mm-hmm. I think as DeMars is in such an enviable position right now, he doesn't even have to make a move.
Nope. He can say pass from here
Yeah.
if Majors is at 3
Yep.
and just wait for Majors to make a move.
He doesn't have to pump. He has to do nothing. There's your block. See what DeMars wants to do here, if anything.
I mean, the problem here from DeMars' side is that it puts Majors at 2, not 1, so the Flooded Strand's still on. But the win is still on the board. He's got 2 2-power creatures next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So Majors has to do something with his mana. And once the shields are down on Dramoka's command, DeMars can go ahead and finish off the game with the Tarkus command.
Well, Majors is going to fall down to 1 right now. There's Canopy Vista. Berserker was dashed this turn, so it'll go back to the grip at the end of DeMars' turn. Well, Michael, activate the Warden.
I mean, he's got to make an effort to win the game. Against the Tarkus command, he's dead next turn because he's at 1 against 2 creatures. I don't know how he's supposed to proceed in this game without making a move.
Well, if he draws a land, he's fine.
In what sense?
Well, he just draws a land, plays a Nissa, has Dramoka's command up.
Well, there's still a... Okay, so he plays the land first, then plays Nissa.
Yeah. That gives him, I mean, he has to draw a land to have that be the case, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like in that particular game, you see DeMars win game number 1 here over Michael Majors, Atarka Red up a game over Grand Megamorph. I'm not sure if that aggressive approach is the right way to slant things because, I mean, sure, he got him down to 14, but he just kind of got ran over.
So if you... you mean with the Warden there?
Yeah, just kind of the overall way that Majors played that game. It felt pretty aggressive to me.
Sure. I think I was not a huge fan of the second attack. I was on board with the first attack.
Sure.
But it's tough. Like I said, we've been watching him all day long, and when people have sat back on their heels the whole game, they've gotten ruined in blocks.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to strike that balance.
And that's some of the appeal of all the pump spells in the deck, right?
Yes.
And Teamer Battle Rage, and we just saw what it was able to do, which was cut right through a Deathness Raptor with ease.
Mm-hmm.
So
very impressive stuff.
Take a look at the sideboards here for both players. We're going to start with Michael Majors and his 3 Irrational Clerics, 3 Evolutionary Leaps, Master of the Unseen, a Radiant Purge, 2 Silk Wraps, 2 Tragic Arrogance, Valor Stance, and 2 Whisper Elementals. Good options here.
Yeah, 5 cards here that I really like in Irrational Cleric and the 2 copies of Silk Wrap. I wouldn't mess around with too much other than that. I think most of his other options here that seem powerful on the surface are just too slow.
Other side of things here for DeMars, 3 Arc Lightnings, 2 Fiery Impulses, 2 Heel Cutters, 4 Hanger Backwalkers, 2 Roast, which will be nice here, and then 2 Thunderbreak Regions.
So I think that the Heel Cutters are likely to come in. I think the Thunderbreak Regions are likely to come in, and some mixture of Arc Lightning, Fiery Impulse, and Roast. I know that's a long list of cards that DeMars can bring in. They're all justifiable. When I've seen DeMars play the deck, I was assuming that he would cut a lot more of the pump spells than he's ended up doing in a lot of spots. So I think he's going to keep the deck mostly intact. Thunderbreak Region seems very attractive to me because, again, Majors is not very good at blocking flyers. The red removal is borderline, and I think DeMars is going to bring in a little bit more, but not the whole suite of cards.
Well, there's the options there for both players. Majors will be on the play here for game number 2. These 2 decks, we know they're going to probably set the pace for Atlanta next weekend. The potential for it to set the pace at States as well 2 weekends from now. And you can find out more about that tournament right now.
The forest is my birthright. A second son inherits only scraps. What I protect, my brother would destroy. I earned my strength. My brother earned nothing. By my father's name, by the mother he scorned. I will destroy you.
Get these paired playmats only at the StarCityGames.com Autumn 2015 State Championships. Standard on October 17th and Modern on October 18th. Visit StarCityGames.com/states to learn more.
October 17th, we got Standard. October 18th, Modern action. You can play a Tarka Red in actually both formats, just like you.
Yeah, just like me.
No gut shots available in this format, unfortunately.
It's sad.
It's tough. It's tough.
Fewer targets in Standard, though. Not a lot of good one-touch creatures.
And Warden of the First Tree, bang!
Boom.
Yeah, get that right out of here.
On your back, Walker. Or some of the leftovers.
Yeah, you show them. Gut shot that. Oh, boy. Great gut shot photo this weekend, by the way. Really good.
It's a little complicated. The last
those are
one
the good ones.
The last one you posted had just like such a smooth elegance about it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who had been playing Magic for a month would understand what was happening there. Mine, you got to look a couple times.
That's okay. It's fun. Some photos are great when you have to peel back the layers.
Exactly.
It's like those Facebook photos where it's like, hey, once you see it, you'll go nuts. Mm-hmm. Except those are horrible.
I don't actually know exactly what you're talking about.
There are Facebook photos where it's like, hey, it looks like a normal photo, and then it's like once you see the weird thing, you'll go nuts and start laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it's not funny at all.
Right.
But with your gut shot photo, it's actually quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
So you have done something that Facebook cannot, which is entertain people.
People seem pretty entertained by Facebook. I don't know if that's a fair.
No.
I don't know if that's a fair indictment.
People are just into the rhythm of Facebook. They know no other way now.
That's definitely
That's
true.
what it is.
That's a foregone conclusion.
Tell me the last time you didn't use Facebook once a day. Like, what's the last day you didn't use Facebook?
Probably when I was on vacation.
Nope, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. When you're on vacation, what, Sydney?
No, I used it plenty in Sydney.
That's what I thought.
New Jersey, maybe Bend, Oregon.
Nah, you're probably on there. Just checking things out. Don't need to check anything out. You're on vacation, still checking things out.
Need to see what my best friends are eating.
That's right.
How else would I know?
A forest for Majors to start game number 2. DeMars is going to sacrifice the Bloodstained Mire. Get a mountain. We'll see what his turn 1 play is going to be.
A friend of mine just bought a new scarf for their dog. Also, wouldn't know that otherwise.
Probably a pretty nice scarf.
Wouldn't know. Scroll past it.
There's Zergo. Majors will draw. A Plains. And a Hangerback Walker. Over to DeMars we'll go. There's a mountain for Brian. Brian's build of this deck very, very, very explosive, as we saw in the last game.
And it's explosive in two ways. One is just, I've got a curve of red creatures backed up by some removal spells. And the other is, the game's kind of bogged down a little bit, and I can punk you out with Battle Rage, Become Immense, and Titan Strength. We've seen both.
Here's Swifty. See if Major's any interest in blocking. Appears the answer is no, so here's Wild Slash. That'll trigger Swift Spear. 4 damage will be dealt. Major's going to fall down to 16. He's got a Thopter left over. He'll quickly untap and take a draw. A Valorous Stance.
I wasn't sure if we were going to see Valorous Stance in the deck here for Majors. It can protect some of his creatures in some spots and is not a bad response to Become Immense, but it is also 2 mana for a card that's not guaranteed to do anything.
Deathmist Raptor has arrived. Atarka's Command. The draw. Sacrifice Windswept Heath. Go get a Cinderglade.
This deck's been pretty impressive.
I'm thinking the same thing right now.
I gotta say, you and I are sort of rolling over the cards in his hand, looking up at the life total, looking down at the board. Majors is already in trouble somehow. His card was Hangerback Walker and the Deathmist Raptor on the play, and he's in trouble.
I'm not sure he's in good shape. And that's a hand you would want to have.
Yeah. Can't get a whole lot better than that.
Every time I look at Brian's hand, the cards are so good.
Yeah. Even the bad cards are good. Titan Strength and the Teamer Battle Rage.
Yep.
This deck is making a lot of lemonade out of lemons. A man is short of really being able to do some awesome stuff.
Well, yeah.
But it is only the third turn, so I don't know if that's a fair criticism of his hand.
Probably not. Until he plays a Darkest Command, puts a land on the battlefield and goes truly nuts.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think, I actually don't think he has a land in his hand to be able to do that.
I wish. Be a great way to wrap up this tournament.
Secret mode.
There's a lot of subtle synergies that I've noticed from some of the cards in Khan's block with some of the stuff that in Battle for Zendikar.
Yeah.
I think the people in R&D.
Wait, hold on.
I think they've planned some things out.
Are you saying that they know what they're doing?
The mode on Atarka's Command that everyone made fun of, basically, when it came out, now seems like it's got some play to it.
Maybe.
Oh, there's a red-green landfall beatdown deck. Weird. Maybe it wasn't a random thing they put on there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Purely accidental. I see Wild Slash. Upstairs.
I think Major said no blocks, and he's about to take.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So I'm counting 10, 12 this turn with 2 Atarka's Commands left over. Okay.
Oh dear.
That turn I think I would have blocked. I've been a fan of Majors taking an aggressive approach here. I'm less a fan of the no blocks approach.
I goes down to 4.
Okay.
I block early and I block often.
The only scenario in which I can get behind no blocks there is if Majors has Dramoka's Command in hand, and he feels like if I get to my turn with the Death Misraptor, he's not going to be able to do very much. I don't know if he's got Command in hand, but I hope he does.
That's neat. Go Wooded Foothills. Pass. Brian says, oh, you want to play this game? I have 2 Atarka's Commands in my hand. I'm not going to do anything. And if you, there's a Blighted Cataract. Excuse me, the Blighted Step. Okay, here's Nissa. When Brian's saying, I'm not going to do anything. Be a little interesting game of chicken now. Curious if Brian's going to go for it or not.
Well, if he didn't go for it last turn, now Dramoka's Command's even worse for him. There's more of a board, and I don't know. It's didn't go for it before, I think. With the Blighted Step in play.
That might force his hand.
Well, no, I think that it's the opposite argument. Majors might get into a spot where it's just attractive for him to try to gain a bunch of life and pull back in, especially at 4 when you're like, well, I can survive 1 Atarka's Command anyway.
Okay. Well, Brian's making a move. Cast 1 Atarka's Command. Yeah. I'm at 1.
And yeah, if I'm DeMars, I just assume it's good. I don't think he's holding the Dramoka's Command for the second one.
Might be one of those shoulder shrug Atarka's Commands.
Do you really think he's waiting when he could have gone fight your creature and prevent all the damage? I suppose if you think Majors might respect the pump kill enough to not use Dramoka's Command there.
Oh, well, if he draws Arc Lightning. Now you better have it.
Okay.
And he does it, and that is going to do it. Brian DeMars is going to win this match over Michael Majors, 2-0. He gets the job done here at the Tarkaret, and he is your champion here at the Open Series in Indianapolis. Congratulations to him.
And this deck was very impressive throughout the entire tournament. I think we caught 1 Swiss loss when he played against Jerry Thompson. And Jerry had a barrage of Radiant Flames and